Hi, it's Lisa. Welcome to Mom Imperfect. Today I wanted to talk to you about the struggles of trying to lose weight as a mom in 2023. So today went pretty well. I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling encouraged. I, am struggling to cut out the sugar out of my life, but I think it's a very important step for me to be working on, as always. So still plugging away at that. I did my exercise routine. I am working on finishing my water, close to that. So feeling pretty positive about the day. But I wanted to share a little bit of some thoughts on the struggle. So first of all, I was talking to my sister about the different thought concepts of like intermittent fasting or fasting and how good that is for weight loss. And then on the other side, which is you should be eating like small meals every 2 hours and that kind of thought. And I have been on the side that like intermittent fasting is good for you because I know my insulin is high and I have looked on the internet and read about, from doctors and like PhD researchers in insulin and all of that, and they're all saying like fasting is one of the best things you're gonna do to lower your insulin. So I'm like, okay, that's like a smart thing to do. And then I got going on Instagram, and then some person popped up about like fixing your hormones with diet. So I was like, oh, cool. Let's look at this girl because, I've been thinking about that lately. And she was saying never fast. It's terrible for your hormones. It gets your hormones out of whack. But insulin is a hormone. So like, what the heck? No wonder it's a struggle for some of us to lose the weight because there's so many times where like things are being contradicted back and forth, and there's so much information out there and it's so overwhelming. And when you can't like just focus on this your whole life and like you don't have 24/7 to just be working on weight loss, it's a struggle. But I was encouraged today by that contradiction to think critically and realize, you know what? I'm 34 years old. I'm a smart person, or like at least like I've gotten through 34 years of life. I've managed that already. So like I can figure this out. I can think what works for me and I can like ignore the rest. And you know what? I know intermittent fasting has worked for me in the past, and I'm going to go with the people that are experts in insulin because that's my problem that I know through my labs. I know that's a problem for me. So let's go with that. And also, I am not someone that wants to count calories. I don't want to count. I don't want to track. I don't want to do any like long term. That just seems like way too much work for me. I don't want to do macros. I don't want to do any calculations when I'm eating. I just want to sit down and eat something. Like hand portions, I'm okay with that. That makes sense. Like half my plate should be vegetables or something, like that kind of thing. That's what I want to do. And intermittent fasting is one of those things that cuts out a ton of calories without me having to calculate all this garbage because I am too busy. I got too many things on my mind. I'm not going to stick to that long term. But I can stick to eat from 10 to 6 long term. That takes no mental capacity. That actually is easier for me and saves me money. So yeah, I'm gonna stick to intermittent fasting because that works for me. And you know what? That might not work for you. I can see the point that if you like have anorexic tendencies or like you're on that scale where you're like starving yourself, yeah, I wouldn't recommend intermittent fasting. But for me, I am a chronic overeater. I will never starve myself. That is not a problem that I have to worry about. I will always make sure I'm fed when I'm hungry. So yeah, intermittent fasting works for me. And I also do like only like 8/16 So I'm eating 8 hours a day every day I eat, which I feel like is not as drastic as some of the other intermittent fasting plans. And I just feel like if you're eating every day, it's okay to restrict certain hours, because that also helps me like make right choices. If I have to not rely on my willpower for like 9 times, if you're eating every 2 hours, or however many times that would be, if I only have to make good choices like for 8 hours of the day, like maybe 3 times, that's better. So yeah, the other thing is like, I felt so frustrated over the last 2.5 years, 3 years, whatever it has been now, as to why I can't lose weight and da-da-da-da-da. But I'm like now realizing too, like, I had 3 kids, a mother of 3 young kids. I was like surviving. I was surviving up until like recently. And when my 3rd kid was a newborn, I was babysitting 2 other kids for like a year, I think. So I had like 5 kids in my stinking 900 square foot home with no basement, like some days. Like this it wasn't full time. I had like, one of them went to school, so he wasn't here all the time, but like no wonder I couldn't lose weight. I didn't have the time, the energy, the mental capacity, or anything to think about losing weight and critically like solve problems about weight loss. I had to just like survive and make sure all the kids were fed and bathed and looked after and put to bed on time, and like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm finally at a place in my motherhood where like I can breathe a little bit. I can think about something. I can take care of myself a little bit more because I have the energy and the mental capacity to do that now. So I guess I just like am giving myself grace for the last 2.5 years. And also, as a stay-at-home mother, like I'm making like 0 money, and that's super stressful too, is like trying to like survive in this day and age, 2023, when everything seems to be going up except for the wage. And like, yeah, and I'm supposed to try to figure out how to function, how to raise a family with like $5 or whatever. Like I know I'm being like super dramatic or whatever, but seriously, the money has been tight and it's stressful. And yeah, and they say like you shouldn't be stressed out because that makes your body like hold on to fat or whatever, like stress is one of the main causes why you can't lose weight. What am I supposed to do about that? Get rid of my kids, like where am I gonna get anyways, you know what I'm saying? It's a struggle, and I'm giving myself grace for the last 2.5 years of like survival mode, and now I'm feeling excited for 2023 because I have some energy to deal with my own problems and take care of myself a bit. And another thing that I wanted to mention is in my workout video, I am really enjoying my workout videos because when you're a mom, like nobody like takes care of me. I'm always taking care of everyone else. I'm always serving everybody, meeting everybody else's needs. And like, just like a simple workout video where someone is sitting here and like pumping me up and giving me words of affirmation and encouraging me is like so needed, and I appreciate that like a lot. Like, okay, thank you. I need someone to like, yeah, affirm me and encourage me, because as mothers we don't get that. very often, especially with very young kids. I know my kids aren't that young anymore, but they're like, my oldest is 7, so you know, it's still, and my youngest is 2, which is which can be a difficult age. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on my weight loss. On my journey so far this year. I'm excited to keep pushing to get better. I just want to encourage you to not be so hard on yourself. And, you know, life happens. There's a ton of other things going on, and sometimes we can't focus all our energy or any of our energy on improving our health. Sometimes we're just surviving, and that's okay. Sometimes that has to happen. Anyways, have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.